Good morning, everyone. So, in the last session, we have discussed about the concept of sub schedulers, right? Yeah. So, how to create a scheduler and what is the use of scheduler, and we also have seen what are the methods inside the scheduler. So, in this session, we'll discuss about the concept of query builder. So, what is the main use of the query builder, and what is the purpose of the query builder? Okay. Yeah. So basically, this query builder is a tool in the AEM to perform any queries in the repository. So maybe if you are going for the Sling model, you are retrieving the properties data, right? So only the properties data you are able to retrieve. Maybe a node you can retrieve from the repository with the help of a resource resolver when you are going for a resource resolver API. But if you want to retrieve a lot of pages, okay, maybe you want to retrieve the pages, or maybe if you want to retrieve the assets. Okay, so consider we are having a lot of assets in my CRXD, and I have to filter that assets and I have to apply that to a component. Okay, so at that case, if you are going for a path field, so inside the path field, you can't filter the assets, right? Okay, so you can't see the properties of an asset there. You can just see an image. So at this case, what happens? So you might have an error to pick the wrong image. So at this case, if you want to filter the assets or if you want to retrieve the assets to your backend, maybe not only assets, pages or any kind of information, if you want to retrieve from the CRXD, so at that case, with the help of the query builder tool, we can easily retrieve. So this query builder tool is an so basically, this query builder tool gives us a permission to write the queries. So simple and efficient queries with the help of the predicates. So whatever the things we want to search, so those things we can easily search in the help of the predicates. So there is no need to write complex SQL queries. It is possible to write the SQL queries as well. But in case if you don't have knowledge on SQL, so at that case, still if you want to retrieve the information, so then with the help of the query builder tool, you can write. So in the AM, you can write an SQL2 query, you can write an XPath query, as well as you can also write the query builders. With the help of the query builders, you can write the queries in the form of predicates as well. So predicate is nothing but a key value pair. So you'll have a term to search, and then you will be specifying the value what you want to return. So that is the use of the query builder. So this query builder is an tool. Okay. So basically this tool accepts the predicates which is in the key value pairs, and then these predicates internally convert into the XPath and then SQL2, and then it will be executed in the repository. So before AEM 6.5 version, so we can perform the query in XPath and then JCR SQL2. So these are the three things which will be accepted in the CRX repository. So which is nothing but XPath query can be accepted, SQL2 query can be accepted, and then SQL is also accepted. But from the AEM 6.0 version, so this SQL query has been deprecated. So you can't use the SQL anymore. You have to use the SQL to write the queries. Okay. So this query builder provides a GUI, so where you can test and run the queries. But if you want to actually perform the action of, or if you want to actually execute the query builder, at that case, what you have to do is you have to write the queries and the backend. Okay. So with the help of the servlets or with the help of the query builder API, you can create a query and you can write the query as well. So that's what you can do with the help of the query builder. Okay. So this query builder is a predefined OECS service. This query builder is a predefined OECS service. So if you want to execute, so you can call that predefined OECS service in anything you want. So basically, how this query builder internally works is, so whenever we write the data in the form of predicates, or when we write the query in the form of predicates, we have the predicates. So which is nothing but a key value pairs. Okay, we have a lot of predicates, and we'll be writing the entire query in the form of predicates, which means a simple term. So no need to go to the complex logic, or there is no need to do multiple things. So we have a key, and then for that we only specify the value that becomes a predicate. Okay, so basically whenever we are using this query builder tool, so we'll be writing in the form of predicates, right? But AEM does not execute these predicates directly, so they don't have an ability to execute these predicates directly. So in order to execute this data, so what it will do is, whatever the predicates we are entering, so these predicates will again convert into the XPath queries. Okay. So these predicates will be converted into the XPath queries. So we have one GUI, graphical user interface, where we'll be entering the predicates. So these predicates, once we enter in the graphical user interface, and once we hit on get hits. Okay, so at that time what it will do, so internally it will call the query builder engine, and this query builder engine converts the query builder to XPath queries. Okay, so whatever the predicate we have entered, so that predicate will be converted into the XPath, and this XPath as well, it cannot be executed directly. So internally AEM XPath converts it, internally AEM converts this XPath query into, with the help of the Oak query engine, into the SQL2 queries. So basically at the last, SQL2 query is only executing. Okay, so we are writing in the form of predicates, so which cannot be executed in the repository. So what it will do, so with the help of the query engine, with the help of the query builder tool, it will convert the predicates into the XPath, but still the XPath cannot be executed. So internally the XPath will be converted into the SQL2 with the help of the Oak query engine. So we are having this Oak query engine. So with the help of the Oak query engine, it will be converted into the SQL2 queries. And these SQL2 queries will be executed with the help of the query engine, and then it will send the results. So that is the process you have to follow. That is the process internally going on, but still we'll be writing the predicates only. So before AEM 6.0 version, so Jackrabbit is the query engine. Okay, so before AEM 6.0 version, 6.0 version, whatever the conversion that is happening XPath to SQL2, so that conversion is previously happened by the Jackrabbit, and then from the AEM 6.0 version, so they have upgraded from Jackrabbit to Oak, so executed by the Oak query engine. So Oak query engine, what it will do, so it will convert your XPath query into an SQL2 query, and then with the help of the O query engine, you will be executing the query, and then it will return the results. Okay, so whenever we are searching, suppose if it is transversing more than 1 lakh nodes. Okay, maybe in the searching it has transferred more than 1 lakh nodes. So this one is a node, right? So internally, if it is going more than 1 lakh nodes searching, so at that case it will throw an error. So either SQL2 query will throw an error, or XPath query, any query will throw an error. Suppose if the uh, searching went more than 1 lakh nodes. So that's what, with the help of the queries. So this is how internally the query builder has been implemented. Okay, so predicates will be converted into XPath. XPath will be converted into SQL2 with the help of the O query engine, and that SQL2 will be executed with the inside the O query engine, and we'll get the results. So as I said, this query builder is just a tool which will give us an a graphical user interface. Okay, it gives us a GUI, and this is the GUI which the query builder tool is giving. Okay, so it is just for the debugging purpose. Okay, so if you want to execute the query efficiently, and if you want to execute the query really, and if you want to retrieve the information, so then we have to implement an backend OSGS service for it. So this query builder tool is already an OSGS service. Okay, so as it is an already an OSGS service in anything. So if I want to use this OSGS service, a query builder tool inside a Sling model you can use, inside a scheduler you can use, inside a servlet you can use. So any kind of backend module, if you want to use the query builder tool where you want to actually execute the query, so then you can directly call the predefined query builder OSGS service, and you can actually execute your queries. So before executing your queries directly, if you want to trail and run them, so whether it is executing or not, if you want to trail and run them, so at that case, with the help of the query debugger tool, we have an GUI. So with the help of this graphical user interface, you can easily search with the help of that one. Okay, so if you want to go to this graphical user interface, so it is available on the libs folder. So you can just copy this path, libs, libs have a CQ, and CQ have search, and then content. And then here query debugger is the one we are having. So just copy this node. Okay. So localhost query debugger dot html. So once you go into this path, so it will load an graphical user interface. And with the help of this graphical user interface, you can test your queries. whatever the queries you want to write. So you can test your queries with the help of this graphical user interface. So inside this GUI, we have so what we have to write is we have to write the predicates. Okay, so predicate is nothing but a key value pairs we have to write. So how we can write these predicates means, okay, uh, we have to write the predicate. So predicate is nothing but a key value pair. So keys are already defined. Okay. So key is nothing but a predicate which is already defined, and they are predefined things. We have a lot of predicates, and then value whatever the thing you want to search, or whatever the information you want to retrieve. So that is nothing but a value. So value is the one we have to specify with the predefined keys. Okay. So first here we are having a type predicate. So type is one predicate. So what is the use of this type predicate is, so inside your repository, you have a lot of node types, right? So CQ page content, CQ colon component, CQ colon client library folder. So you are having a lot of nodes inside the repository. Okay, node types in the repository. Maybe from all of these node types, if you want to search for only pages, okay, in the entire repository, you want to search for only the pages which are available in the repository. Okay, I just want to retrieve all the pages available in the repository. So at that case, what happens? So you have to write a predicate for it. Okay, so in order to write the predicate, so type is one predicate we are having. Okay, so type is one predicate we are having. So with the help of the type predicate, what you can do is you can retrieve whatever the node type you want to search for. So that node type you can specify that with the help of the type predicate. So right now I want to retrieve the pages. Okay, so then you have to mention type is equals to CQ colon page. So when I'm mentioning type is equals to CQ colon page, so type is a predicate which will search for the particular node in the repository. So which particular node? So CQ colon page nodes in the repository, it will try to search for. So if I hit on enter, so right now it is returning 1807 results it is returning. So that means in the entire JCR repository, it has total 1807 pages. Okay. But still if you observe here, it is printing only 10 results. Okay. So it will print only 10 results. Why? Because so if you want to print all the results, it is right now it has 1800 seven results it is returning, but still it is printing only 10 results in this GUI. Suppose if you want to print all the results in this case, so here we have one more predicate called as an p dot limit. So this p dot limit by default will be at the 10. Okay. So this p dot limit is nothing but the value, how many values it wants to print. Okay. So p dot limit is how many values it wants to print, and then this p dot limit is by default at the 10. So that's why it is printing the 10 results. Maybe if you want to return all the results, so then p dot limit is equals to minus 1. So when you are specifying p dot limit is equals to minus 1, so that in that case, it will print all the results. So how many number of pages you are having? So it will print all the results when you are having p dot limit is equals to minus 1. So maybe consider I don't want to get so okay, so maybe consider instead of going for all the results, I want to retrieve the results from a particular place. Okay, from so initially 0 to 10 it is returning. Suppose if I want to print 10 results, so then I don't, then there is no need to specify the p dot limit. So by default, what it will do, so it will print the data from 0 to 10. So it has a space, so that's why the query is wrong. So it is printing the results from 0 to 10 results it is printing. But if I want to get the results from 10 to 20 or 20 to 30 or 30 to 50, I want to get the results. So how can I get the results? So at that case, here we are having one more predicate, that is p dot offset. So with the help of the p dot offset, so offset is nothing but the start value. Okay, limit is nothing but the end value. So by defaultly, this offset will be always at the 0. So that's why, and then by default, the offset is always at the 0, and then limit is always at the 10. So that's why it will print the results from 0 to 10. So right now, I want to get the results from 20 to 20 results I want to print. Okay. So 20 to 40, I want to print the results. So at that case, offset, which value we have to set? So we have to set the offset value as 20. So offset is nothing but the start value. And then p dot limit is the limit value, how many values you want to print. So at that case, I'll print 20. So that means starting from 20, it will print 20 results. P dot limit will print 20 results. You can just hit on search. So right now it is returning 20 results. That means 20 to 40 it is returning. Okay, so maybe if you want to get 40 results, so then from 20 to 60 it will print. Okay, so from 20, from starting index 20, it will try to retrieve 40 results. So that's what you can do with the help of the offset and the limit. So p dot offset is equals to 20 and p dot limit is equals to 40. Okay, maybe right now we are going, so right now whatever the search we are trying to perform, so we are performing the search in the entire repository, right? So irrespective of the project or irrespective of the thing, you are performing the query in the entire repository. Okay, so maybe if you want to filter the path, okay, only on a particular project, whatever the project we are having, so only that particular project pages we have to return. Pages inside that project we have to return. So at that case, what you can go, so here we are having one more predicate. So with the help, we are having one more predicate, which is nothing but the path predicate. Okay. So path is one predicate we are having. So this path predicate is nothing but if you want to filter through the repo. So if you want to filter through the repo based on the path, so then with the help of the path predicate, you can do that. So right now we are searching for the entire repository, right? So simply now I'll go and I'll try to search only based on a particular path. So I'll give the p dot limit only. So we'll set the p dot limit to -1. That's that works. Okay. So p dot limit is equals to -1. So type is equals to CP column page and p dot limit is equals to -1. Okay. So here I'll use the path predicate. So path is equals to content. Okay. So inside the content only, right, we'll be having the pages. So I'll go for the VRetail project. So content VRetail US and EN. So this should be the base path. So inside this path, how many number of pages it is having? So it should return all those pages. Okay. So simply you can go for this one and then you can click on path predicate. So path is equals to backslash content we return USN EN. So right now what it will do, it will try to return all the pages which are inside this particular path you are specifying. Okay, so it will not, I think it will include the parent as well. So uh, yeah, so it is not including the parent. So content we retail US and EN. So whatever the pages that are inside content we retail US and EN, it is returning all the pages. So if you observe here, content we retail US and EN. So why it is printing all the results? The limit is -1. Okay. So here it is printing 215 results. So that means inside the EN page, suppose if you are going for experience, so internally experience also has a lot of pages. And then internally maybe any of these also have a lot of pages. So it will iterate all the chain nodes and it will return all the results. Whatever the iteration it is trying to do, so all the pages it will return. So that's why it is returning 215 results it is returning. So that's what you can do with the help of the content we return USN. So that is what you can do with the help of the path predicate. So path predicate gives us the permission to search only for the to filter through the path and to search for the data. So that is the path predicate you are having. So after the path predicate, property. Yeah. So we have a property predicate. Okay. So property. Okay. So right now you are searching for a path. Okay. You are searching inside a path. Okay. So property is nothing but based on the properties, you can filter through the results. Okay. Maybe I want to retrieve the pages which are created through a particular template. Okay. In order to create a page, what we need to have a template, right? So every page if I go there, so then it will have one mandatory properties. One is link column resource property is one mandatory property in a content node, and second one mandatory property where every page will have is CQ column template is one mandatory property it will be having. So if I go inside this one, so CQ colon template. If you observe here, so CQ colon template is one property we are having. So inside this CQ colon template, I want to retrieve the results. I want to retrieve the pages of which are created using this particular property. So inside content we retain US and EN, whichever the pages are created using this CQ colon template. So that pages only I want to return. So in order to return those results, so we have to filter to the properties. Okay, I want to have a restriction. So to that, in order to get that restriction, you can filter that with the help of the property. So CQ colon template is the property I want to check here. So then here you have to go for the property predicate and here you have to specify the property. So which property I want to search for. So then you can simply specify JCR colon content because the CQ colon template is inside the JCR colon content slash and then you have to specify CQ colon template. So when you are going for the property predicate, so what it will try to do is it will try to search for the properties. Okay, so it will, we are here, what we have done is we have just specified the property, but we haven't specified the value of the property. So I want to search for CQ colon template. Okay, but what is the value of the template? So in order to specify the value of the property you are selecting, so then here you have to specify property dot value. So property dot value is equals to, and inside this one you have to specify the value. So I want to return all the pages which are created using this hero page template. So simply you can go here and property dot value is equals to we return settings WCM templates and hero page template. If I hit on enter, so right now it is returning 5 results. So that means inside content we return US and EN. So total 5 pages are created using the hero page template. Okay, so that's what you can do with the help of the property predicate. So with the help of the property predicate, you are able to filter through the properties. So maybe here I'm searching for only one template value. Okay, only hero page template I'm searching. Maybe if I go inside this one, maybe I'm having different templates as well. If I go inside, it is also an hero page. So skit routing, JCR content. Yeah. So if you observe here, so uh, skid routing page has been created with the help of a different template. Okay, so right now what I want to do is I want to search for the pages which are created using two templates. Okay, so either it can be hero page template or it can be an experience page also should be fine. So those two pages I want to return, pages which are created using the hero page template, and then pages which are created using the experience page template, anything will be fine. So right now in this case what is happening here is, so we want to, the property is same. Okay, so property is CQ colon template only. So for this property I want to send two values. Okay, so at that case if you want to send two values, so this is how you can set. So property dot one underscore value, so that will be the first value, and here you have to specify property dot two underscore value. Okay, so here you have to specify the path. So whatever the template you want to search, so here you have to specify the template. So if you observe the XPath query here, once I hit on enter, if once I hit on this search button, so you can check the XPath query. So it is checking right now. So JC, in this particular JCR content, we retail USEN, and then the type is CQ colon pages. Okay, so JCR colon content, CQ colon template. This is the first value, and then it is specifying or property. Okay, so or means any one of the condition is true. Right? So this is a logical or, and any one of the condition is true. So that's why it is returning 11 results. That means total 11 pages have been created using the so combinedly using hero page template and the experience page template. So maybe if I want to right now it is performing or operation. Maybe if I want to perform and operation. So if I want to perform and operation, so then you can simply specify like this. So properties dot and is equals to true. So then it will perform and operation. But if I hit on enter, it is not performing AND operation. So P dot AND, maybe it's property dot and, yeah. So right now it is performing AND operation. So property dot small and is equals to true. So right now why it is returning zero results? Because we can't create a page using two templates. You have only one option to create a page by selecting one template. You can't create a page using more than one template. So that's why it is returning an issue here. So that's what with the help of the property dot and is equals to true. So which will gives us an and condition. Maybe here we are searching for two property, one property only, right? So which is CQ colon template. So maybe internally we have some more requirement. I want to search for the so I want to search for the thing which is more than one property. Okay. So right now we are having only one property, but we have searched with the help of two values. Okay. One property, two values we have searched, but I want to search for two properties, one value I want to search. So at that case, how we can search for more than one property? So with the help of the group predicate, you can search for more than one property. Okay. So how you have to specify? So group, so this is the first property I want to search for. So group dot one underscore property. Okay, so that will be the first property, and here you have to specify. So group dot one underscore property value. Okay, so this is the first property we are searching for. So JCR content CQ colon template. And second property what we are searching for, group dot one underscore property, and that property is nothing but property value. So uh, property one and property one value. So with the help of the group predicate, you can combine multiple properties. Okay, you can search for more if you want to search for more than one property. So in that case, with the help of the group predicate, it is possible. So right now I want to search for another property. So group dot two underscore property is equals to, so I want to search, so every content node will have the same value, which is sling column resource type will be having. Suppose if it is a page, okay, so the sling column resource type property would be pointing out towards the page component inside your apps folder. So this is a sling column resource type property I want to search for. Okay, so then simply you can specify, so jcr colon content slash sling colon resource type. Okay, so JCR column content and sling column resource type is the property I'm specifying, and then group dot two underscore property dot value you have to specify. So what is the value you want to search for? So we retail components and structure page should be the value you have to specify. So with the help of the group predicate, you can search for more than one property. If I hit on search, right now it is returning 5 results. Okay, so what it is searching? So first properties is JCR colon content and CQ colon template. Okay, so it is searching for the template, and second one it is searching for JCR colon content slash CQ colon at the rate sling colon resource type property, and then by default it is performing the AND operation. Okay, so maybe instead of AND operation, if you want to perform the OR operation. Okay, so if you want to perform the OR operation, so then group dot OR is equals to true. So when you are specifying group dot OR is equals to true, so it will be performing the OR operation, but no, maybe capital R. Mm, group dot OR is equals to true. That correct only. So group dot yeah, so I need to check this one. Okay, so if you want to perform OR operation as well, it is possible. Okay, so if you want to search for OR operation, it is possible to search for OR operation. So these are some of the predicates we are having inside the query builder. So internally we have a lot of predicates, but these are some of the predicates we are having. So maybe if you want to search for all the predicates, okay. So if I'm going for this right now, we'll be having search bars, right? Suppose if I go for any website, what you will be having? You will be having a search bar. Okay, so once I enter any term, so maybe I'm searching for shoes. So at that case, what it will try to do? So it will try to return all the related products. Maybe it is a page or maybe it is a product. So any kind of data we are having, so it will try to return all the data. So if I'm searching for a shirt, so then it will return all the shirts data. So if you want to perform, so here we are entering a small term. So we are not specifying any parts, we are not specifying anything, right? So we are specifying a small term. Suppose if you want to get the result, okay, I'll just copy this part, predicate. Okay, suppose if I'm going, suppose if I want to search with the same functionality, so where you want to search with the help of that one. So here we are having a full text predicate. So full text will give us a permission to search for any data in the repository. Suppose if I search for shoes and if I hit on enter, so right now JCR plot contains shoes. So it can be anything. So if it is containing inside an if it is containing inside a page, or if it is containing inside a product, if it is containing inside an asset, so anything, whatever it contains, so it will try to get that off with the help of the full text predicate. So with the help of the full text predicate, what you can do is you can search in the entire repository. Uh, with the shorter term values, you can search in the entire repository. So in most of the cases, we'll be implementing the search with the help of the full text predicate. Search with the help of the full text predicate. Okay. So such will be implementing with the help of the full text predicate. Okay, so right now, whatever the thing we have done here, it is just for the trail and run purpose only. Okay, the queries we have written here, it is just for the trail and run purpose. But if you want to actually execute these queries, so at that case, how we can actually execute the queries? So we have to execute the queries with the help of the backend API. Okay, so this query builder is a predefined OACA service. So with the help of this predefined OACA service, you can actually execute. So here we are trail and run purpose only. So whether you are checking whether the query is executing or not. So it is just for the trail and run purpose. So if you want to execute the query, actually, so at that case you have to implement the at that case, you have to write the backend logic to implement to actually execute the query inside your project. So in order to write the query, so we have you can go for anything. So I'll go for a servlet, and inside the servlet, I'll try to create a query. I'll try to write the query inside the servlet. So right click on it, new Java class, and then go for mm, yeah, demo query is one class I have created. So this is one normal Java class. We have to convert this normal Java class into a servlet. Okay. So I want to perform only read operation. Okay. I don't want to perform all the methods like post, delete. I just want to use the do get method. So in order to get the do get method, how we need to extend how we need to create a servlet. If I want to use the do get method, what servlet class I have to extend? Extends sling safe method servlet. Okay, so you have to go for the sling safe method servlet so that it will only get the do get method. Okay, so and then internally, if you are going for this one, so we have to go for at the rate component annotation. Okay, so because servlet is an OSGA component, you have to convert that into an OSGA component, and then it is an OSGA service. So you have to get the life cycle of the servlet, right? So servlet is equals to servlet is service is equals to. So at the rate component is the annotation we are having. Okay. And then here we have to pass service is equals to servlet dot class. So why I'm passing the servlet dot class as a service? So immediate equals to true. So that is also one property because when the bundle goes into the activate state immediately, so we have to execute this one. So immediate equals to true, we have to specify. Okay, so we have just created a servlet, but if you want to execute the servlet, we have to register the servlet, right? So how we can register the servlet? Either a path-based servlet or a resource-based servlet. So in this case, I'll go for a path-based servlet. Okay, so at the rate sling servlet paths. This is how you can register your path-based servlet in a 1.4 version. Okay, so at the rate sling servlet paths, and then it will accept one value, one parameter, which is nothing but a value. So here you have to specify the path here. So backslash bin, and then a demo slash query is the path I'm specifying. So bin demo query is the path I'm specifying. So whatever the query you are having, so that query you have to create inside. Okay, so we have to write the query inside this do get method, so then only we can execute the query. So before executing the query, so first you have to get the predefined query builder OACA service. So in order to get one OACA service, and servlet is also an OACA service. So if you want to get one OACA service in another OACA service, so at that case here you have to use at the rate reference annotation. So at the rate reference, and I'm creating a variable for it. So private query builder. Okay, so query builder is the tool we are having. Okay, so always the input should be com.day.cq.search should be the input. And then a query builder is the API we are having. So at that reference, private query builder and query builder is the object we are having. But here we have to pass the predicate. Okay, so how we can execute the query is very simple. So inside this query builder, whatever the query builder I'm having, so inside this query builder interface or inside this query builder class, we have one method called as a create query method. Okay, so create query is the method we are having. So this create query method will accept two parameters. So first one, it will accept the predicate. Okay. So first object it will accept the predicate, and second object what it will try to accept is it will accept the session object. So what does it mean by the session? So whatever the current repository data you are having, okay. So if you want to access the JCR repository using the servlet, so then with the help of the session with the help of the resource resolver, you can get that. But if you want to have a permission to retrieve the information to perform the CURD operation in the repository, so at that case you have to go for the session parameter. We have to pass the session parameter as a part of it. So session also we have to pass. So in order to get this one, so first you have to call the create query method. So query builder is the object we are having. So query builder dot create query, and then two parameters it will accept. It is only accepting one parameter, create query. So the second one is the thing you have to import. So one is predicate it is accepting, and second one it is accepting the session argument. So two arguments it is accepting. So predicate group, and then that is the argument 0, and session is the argument 1. So try to get this one. So instead of passing as a null, we have to actually pass the value. Okay, but but inside the Java, you can't directly create a predicate. Okay, so whatever the thing we are having here, it is a key value pair. Okay, it is not a predicate, it is a key value pairs. Okay, so if you want to enter the data, if you want to store the data of key value pairs in Java, so how we can store the data in key value pairs? Collections. In collections, which class we have to use to store the data uh, in the key value pairs? Map. So with the help of the map, we can enter the key value pairs data. So map is a separate implementation which is not a part of collections. Okay. Uh, so create a map object. So map, and then the type is string, and then the second type is also string. I'm using generics. Okay, so because I'm restricting the user only to enter the string type of information instead of an object data. Okay, and create an object for this one. I'll create an object as predicate. Okay, so predicate is the object I'm creating, but it is not an actual predicate. Okay, so it is just an object I'm creating. So map string predicate is equals to map is an interface, right? You can't directly create an object for an interface. So you need to have an implementation class for it. So for that, you have to use new hash map. Okay, so hash map is the object you are trying to use, and then it will create an object for the hash map. Okay, so inside this predicate, in order to insert the data inside this map, how we can insert the data inside the map? So with the help of the object of the map, you can insert. So what is the method to insert the data? So predicate dot put is the method, and then first one will pass type. So predicate dot put. Okay, so two string informations we have to pass. So one takes as a key and second takes as a value. So I'll just directly search with this one. If I execute this query, how many results it is returning? 5 results. That's good. Okay, so here you have to paste the predicate you are having. So first one is a type. Okay, and then value is nothing but CQ colon page is the value we are having. And then second one, so just simply paste your query, whatever the query you are having. So insert that query inside this predicate. So path we are having, and then content we return USN EN, and then group one dot of property JCR colon content and CQ colon template. Group one property dot value. So you have to specify the template value you want to select. So conf we return settings WCM templates, and hero page is a template. And then group 2 property sling colon resource type property we are trying to insert, and you have to mention a sling colon resource type. So JCR colon content slash sling colon resource type. And third one, group dot property dot value, and then you are going for we detail components and structure page is the component we are having. So sling colon resource type property, and after that one more predicate dot put So which will return all the results. P dot limit that will be minus 1. P dot limit is equals to minus 1. Okay, so whatever the predicate we are having here, so simply I can pass the predicate inside this one. Okay, but if what is this a predicate? No, right? It is a map object. Okay, so you have to convert this predicate, you have to convert this map object into an predicate. So in order to convert this map object into an predicate, so at that case here we are having an option of so inside this create query method, so we have a predicate predefined class. So predicate group is a predefined class we are having here, and inside this predicate group we have one method called as an create is a method we are having. So which is accepting a map object. So map predicate parameter map. So which it will convert your map object into an predicate. So whatever the map object we are having here, so this map object is now converted into a predicate with the help of the predicate group method. So predicate group class. So inside this class, we have one static method, that is create is the static method, which will accept the map as a parameter, and it will convert the map into the predicate. And second parameter, what it will accept, it will try to accept the session object. If I go for create query, session is one more parameter is that is accepting. So if you want to get the session object, you have to get the resource resolver. So what does it mean by a resource resolver? If you want to access any kind of data from the repository, so at that case, with the help of the resource resolver only, it is possible. Okay. So to read the resource resolver data, so if you want to get the resource resolver data from the request object, you can get that one. So request dot get resource resolver. Okay. And then adapt to session dot class. Okay. So I'll first get a resource resolver object, assign statement to an to local variable. So from this resource resolver, I'll get a session. So session gives us a permission to perform the CRUD operation inside the repository. So resource resolver dot adapt to session dot class. So always the import should be Java JCR session should be the import. So session dot class. Okay. So assign that to an session object. So session object as well I have created, and then this session object you can pass inside the query builder. Okay, so assign this to a query builder, so which will return the query builder interface. Okay, so query is a so right now we have converted this normal map object into a query, and then this query object contains the predicate as well as it also contains the permission to access the JCR repository with the help of the session parameter. So from this query, in order to get the results, so we have one method. So inside this query interface, we have one method, that is query dot get results is the method. Okay, so where it will return the results of the query. Okay, so from the results, whatever the results you are having, so from the results what we need to have is we need to get the hits. Okay, from the results we have to get the hits. Right now it is returning the results. So from the results, in order to get the hits, so here we are having one more method. So inside this results object, results dot get hits is the method we are having. So where it will return an object of an uh, list, because it can be more than one, right? So all the hit we are having, so from the all the hits it is returning the hits. So hits is nothing but this kind of data. So if you want to print this data, so at this case I want to print that inside a JSON array. So in the result, whenever the user hits, so this is the JSON format I have to specify. So if I go here, if I click on JSON query builder link, so all the data, whatever it is having here, so it is returning the data in the form of JSON format. Okay. So I am also expecting the same JSON format as a result. So in order to get the same JSON format as a result, so here list hits result dot get hits is from this hits I want to iterate, and I want to return the JSON response. Okay. So that JSON response I want to store inside a JSON array. So then you will go and then we'll create an object for the JSON array. So JSON dot get array builder, sorry, create array builder. So it will create an JSON array. So jab is the object. So jab is nothing but the JSON array. And then whatever the hits we are having, I want to iterate over these hits. And then I want to retrieve one after other. So for that, I'm going for a for each loop. So for this for each loop, every time whenever the iteration happens, one hit will be assigned to this hit object. Okay. So from 5 hits, one hit will be coming here, and then it will be assigned to this hit object. And from this hit object, I want to adapt that to I want to adapt that into a resource. So hit dot get resource is the method I'm having. So where it will convert that, okay, so where it will convert the string property into a resource in the repository. So it will throw an exception, repository exception it will throw. It will, you have to try to handle that repository exception. Okay, so so basically whatever, what does this hit contain? So this hit contains a result. Okay, so it will just contain a string object, it will convert. Okay, so it will just have a string parameter. But I want to actually perform some logic inside this one. Okay, so if you want to perform some logic inside this one, what you have to convert? So you have to get that as a resource. Okay, so in order to convert this hit into a resource, so get resource is a method we are having. So which will be returning the object of a resource. So from this resource, so because these are the pages, right? So in order to retrieve any information of the pages, we have one predefined API called as an page API we are having. So with the help of the page API, you can actually easily get the data of the pages. So in order to return the data of the pages, so from this from this resource, you have to adapt that as a page. So resource dot adapt to page dot class. So always the input should be com.day.wcm API should be the input. So page dot class. So it will store the data in the form of a page. Okay. So page is the data I'm having. So from this page, I can easily retrieve the information and I can store inside a JSON object. So for that, I'll create a JSON object. So JSON dot create object builder, and then it will return an object. So job is the object we are creating. So inside this job, whatever the information I want to retrieve from this page, I'll retrieve that information. Okay. So page dot sorry job dot add, and then I'll use the title, and then the value will come from this page API. So page dot get title is the method. So where it will return the title of the page. Okay, so get title is the method because we are going for the page manager API. So get title is the method where it will return the page. So similarly, I want to return the path of the page as well. So job dot add. So here I'll pass sling colon resource type. So sling colon resource type. The value should be path should be the value, right? So in order to get the path, page dot get path is the method we are having. So it will return the path of the, so then it will return the path. Okay, so once I've got these two properties, so inside the JSON object, so every time whenever it is iterated, I want to add these objects into an array. So here jab dot, so JSON array dot add, so JSON object I am adding. Okay, so for every iteration, one object will be added inside the JSON array. So what does the JSON object contain? So it will contain the title as well as it is containing the string column resource type property. So these are the two values we are having, and then we'll generate the response. So whenever the user hits, so I want to generate this JSON array as a response. So in order to get the response, so response dot get writer, because I want to write that inside an page. Okay, so response dot get writer dot write is the method we are having, and convert this JSON array into the string format. So jab dot first build that and then convert to toString. So toString is the method we are having. Okay, so that is how you can perform the query. So just go to the terminal and try to build the changes. So just only two methods. So this is whatever the thing we have gone here. So this is a custom implementation of us. Okay, but if you want to execute the query, first main thing we need to have is create query method. So which will convert the query, and then second one is get results. So which will return the results, and from the results you want to get the hits with the help of the get hit method. So that's what you have to perform. So once after deployment, if you search with the help of this path, so automatically it will return the results. So now the build is success. So just copy this path, and if you go inside the local host colon 4502, and if you hit this path, so automatically it will return the results. So we are printing title as well as link column resource type property of the 5 pages which you are having. Okay, so this is one which is inside a JSON object, and second JSON object, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so whatever the results it is having, so we are returning those 5 pages. And then okay, so if you want to check, so experience, about us, equipment, men and women. So here also the same thing. So same order it will be specified. So experience, about us, equipment, men and women is the pages we are retrieving. So that is how you can directly execute the query. If you want to write the query builder, if you want to create the query builder actually in your project. So at that case, this is the process to create the query builder. So any questions? So session gives us an ability to perform the action in the repository.